Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is the Post-Mortem Show. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD. And today, soldiers. No Limit Soldiers.
Hoorah!
The top 5 soldiers in horror movies.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
Alright, Rock. Alright, The Rock.
I am The Rock. The people's podcaster.
You're the people's podcaster, The Rock, and I'm the sexual stroganoff.
Yeah.
And those are our 80s wrestling names.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, brother, when the Strogs runs wild on you?
If you smell what The Rock is podcasting.
That's horrible.
That's terrible.
Well, we're not talking about The Rock.
You know,
we're talking about horror movie soldiers.
Not good either.
Yeah.
You really think about it, that's kind of stupid. Because he's not a chef.
Like, I bet The Rock isn't
the
really that good of a cook, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into the top 5 horror movie soldiers, we got a little bit of horror news. Horror news.
Studio ADI is teaming with special effects artists Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. to create new home art pieces based on the xenomorph designs from Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. The resin statues are cast from the actual molds used to create the practical effects creatures for the movie, and they look awesome. Woodruff was quoted as saying, "This is the collection designed for aficionados of the art of creatures and monsters of iconic pedigree." Gillis continued saying, "Each piece of art reflects the same detail and passion we poured into the characters when we created the original films. Pieces will be priced between $250 and $4,000, depending on the size, ranging from miniatures to full-size xenomorph statues, and will be available from Studio ADI on December 1st, 2017. So if you ever wanted a full-size cast alien statue in your home, and you got $4,000 just kicking around, send it to me because I want the statue.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, if you got $4,000 just waiting around, just send us some money.
Yeah, send it to us. You know, but buy us that. We could use it here in the B Ward. Some of the pieces are cool though because like there's the full body ones, and then there's miniature statues, you know, that they use for special effects. But then there's some pieces that are just like the alien's jawbone on a stick on a stand, and you know, with the clear teeth and all that. And they look really fucking cool. So I may have to scrape up some change and pick up an alien jawbone or something.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you get some fucking xenomorphs in your house.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that?
A lot of people,
I want?
but I want it.
You know what I want? The first ever xenomorph sex doll.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It can look
the Queen
like,
Alien.
It could look like the alien, or the xenomorph human hybrid from the end of Alien Resurrection, because it's got a vagina.
Yeah. Sex aliens. That's our rating system.
All
Sex
right.
aliens. So, Freddy's Greatest Hits, the 1987 album, is getting a vinyl re-release.
How have I never heard of this before?
I haven't either. If you go to sleep, you will surely meet up with Freddy. One could argue that Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors turned Freddy into a pop icon. The second sequel, released in 1987, established the Freddy we know and love today, and a lot of merchandise like lunchboxes and shit. They released the 9-track novelty album put out by RIC Records in 1987, Freddy's Greatest Hits, with his Elm Street group, and it didn't do too well. But now they're going to put it on vinyl.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Is it just Robert Englund, like, rapping over some really shitty 80s rap beats?
I have no idea what it is, but
it's
coming,
like it's
coming to vinyl. It sounds like something we'd be interested in.
It's like an 808 drum, like boom, 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 and he's like, "My name's Freddy Krueger, and I'm here to say." That's exactly what it is.
That's probably exactly what it is.
You know what? He needs to team up with the guy who did the Maniac Cop rap
Yeah.
And, collaborate on something.
The Maniac. Get you in your jacuzzi with an Uzi.
Yeah, that's right. That's the greatest rhyme ever. So, Italian director Luca, I'm going to butcher this name, Guadagnino? I'm going to call it that. Luca Guadagnino has been working on a film that up until recently was billed as a remake of Dario Argento's 1977 classic Suspiria. The new film has been set to star Tilda Swinton and the original Suspiria's star Jessica Harper. Guadagnino has now gone on record saying that the film is not actually a remake, but inspired by the same story, but goes in different directions and explores other reasons for what happened in the film. He went on to say, people have to really understand that it is not a remake because the word remake gives the impression that we want to erase the original, and the opposite is what we are trying to do. What it sounds like he's trying to do is either an alternate timeline for the original film or perhaps similar events happening at the same time as the original, sort of a sequel that takes place within the first film, which is an interesting take and makes sense in a weird way given the abstract and fever dream nature of Argento's film. So if they're bringing back the original star nearly 40 years later and they have her play the same character, it stands to reason that this is a new timeline or maybe the original story told from a different perspective. Either way, I'm now very interested to see where this goes. I mean, it couldn't be any more convoluted than the original film was.
Yeah. So, when you first got here, my wife showed you the Pittsburgh Penguins stocking that she got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
And her cowboy stocking.
And she's very obsessed with Christmas. And you saw her front house. Now it's like, as much Halloween as I put out, she puts out the Christmas.
Yeah.
So, something new coming out that you can pre-order. The pre-order started November 17th. An ornament that I would be very happy to put on my tree. The Elvira Christmas ornament.
Nice.
So pre-sale began on November 17th, and it's $24.99. It's a full Elvira, like head to toe,
Nice
Christmas ornament. And there's one in a red, Christmas suit, and then one in a black. So as we have here in the B Ward, we have the official Coors Light Elvira with the movie reels, with the hair covering the boobs.
Yeah,
can't have that in a liquor store. Can't show cleavage in a liquor store.
Right.
Better hide the boobs with liquor.
They just don't want the people who work there raping the standee.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, it's available now. It's standard and limited editions. You can go get them from Elvira on her website. So.
Speaking of Christmas ornaments, I was clued into this website called Middle of Beyond, and they make horror-themed Christmas tree ornaments and Christmas sweaters. And they've got some fucking cool-ass shit on there. They have Cthulhu, they have...
like Christmas sweaters?
Yeah,
I've seen
and Cthulhu Christmas tree ornaments, like a tree topper that's the Cthulhu shrine. And they
awesome.
have Yeti, and they have like zombie Santa and zombie elves, and Mad Balls made into Christmas ornaments.
That's a good idea.
And they have the Necronomicon from Evil Dead as a Christmas tree ornament.
That's awesome.
So I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of shopping.
With your new tattoo?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna editorialize for a minute on something that I'm sure all of our listeners have already heard is going on. But on November 19th, it was officially announced that Charles Manson is dead.
Yesterday,
yeah.
As of the time of this
recording, yeah. Throughout his lifetime, he's been referred to as a mass murderer, a serial killer, and pretty much the devil himself. It is my personal opinion that Charles Manson was none of these things. He only provably murdered one person and was an accessory to the Tate and LaBianca murders. Tex Watson was the monster in those two crimes. Charles Manson was a sick product of an even sicker system and all too willingly became the poster boy for the dark side of hippie culture in the eyes of the media because he liked the attention, and the authorities wanted him to be the last nail in the coffin of the already declining hippie movement. Manson was not the boogeyman. He was a permanently institutionalized, sad son of a bitch who only knew freedom for 2 years of his adult life, and whose quote-unquote evil was blown out of proportion by the sensationalist media and the money-hungry police detective that wanted this to be his career case that he could write a book about. Calling Manson any more than that is an act of giving every cog in the fucked-up machine more perception over reality power than any of them deserve. So, my eulogy for Manson is, when we remember Manson, let us not remember him as evil incarnate, just remember him as a pathetic wretch who never had a chance in life, fucked up every step of the way, and take from him all of the power that the media had given him.
I would say that with Charles Manson, big old piece of shit,
Huge piece of shit.
charismatic,
Yeah.
almost a Jesus figure.
That's
you know
what he
I
wanted
mean?
to
To
be.
people, that's what he wanted to be, and So his charisma is what allowed him to do these things, but he was a fucking piece of shit, or he wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? So I say, people say rest in peace. People say fuck him. I say I don't even give him the time of day because that's what he wanted.
Well, and if you think about Charles Manson, like, he was literally born no name. His birth certificate says No Name Williams.
Yeah.
He didn't become Charles Manson until he was almost a year old. His prostitute mother completely neglected him. He was raised in basically institutions where he was raped and times, all he knew was that method of survival. Didn't actually get into the real world until he was like 32 years old.
I think also, like, with a lot of him, with the followers and what they did and stuff like that, like, a lot of that was coming from Tex and other people like that. Another thing is that he's probably just bullshitting people, trying to get along, and then somebody took his bullshit a little too seriously.
Well, that's he
but
wanted
still, like, he has a fucking hand in it. So
he wanted to fight the man, and he had the conspiracy theory thing, and him and all these chicks and a couple of dudes were out in the fucking desert doing acid, and like 3 days before the Tate murders, Tex Watson ate an entire boiled belladonna root and was basically tripping for like the next 2 weeks because of it. Like, if you get a bunch of people who are already like outsiders in the system, and then you take this guy who doesn't know anything about the real world because he was never part of it, you put him in the desert, you let them all fuck each other, you give them acid every single fucking day, what else is going to come out of that?
Yeah.
It was just a fucking, like, thick, nasty stew of just bad shit that ultimately resulted in that.
Yeah, but he killed Sharon Tate, who was smoking hot. And how many more horror movies would she have been in? You know what I mean?
Maybe Roman Polanski would have never molested a kid, and we could actually enjoy his movies still.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charles Manson is dead. Breaking news. You're here to hear.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, it's not breaking news.
Right.
So, on the lighter side of things, Stranger Things is, it's a thing now. It's
Stranger Things mania is running wild.
It is. It's running wild. It's super fucking over. It's one of the most watched things ever on Netflix. Season 2 did really well too.
Do you know that actually Mystery Science Theater still has more watches than Stranger Things?
Really?
On Netflix. It's the #1 watch show on Netflix.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, anyways, not to steal my fucking thunder, Dom.
But it's still #2. And there's nothing better than a good #2.
You fucking sex alien. Plastic sex alien. Don't do that. Well, anyways, a lot of people's favorite kid is Dustin. Mm-hmm. The one with the fucked up teeth.
Yeah.
Suffers from cleidocranial dysplasia.
Yeah. He has no collarbones.
And he has no collarbones either. And his real name is Gaddon Matarazzo, right? Yeah. And what he's doing right now with the success of Stranger Things, instead of parlaying it for bigger things, he's going and visiting a bunch of kids who have the same thing that he has.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome. I saw he was on Ridiculousness and stuff. Like, he has done a lot of mainstream media stuff, but he's visiting fans that share his same birth defect and encouraging them and stuff. Nice. And trying to befriend him and talk to him and stuff. And I think that's a really cool thing of that kid.
Yeah.
So. Stranger Things Season 2, not as good as 1 for my money, but overproduced, and also just not a lot happened.
Yeah.
Almost like The Walking Dead, like, you know what I mean, where a bunch of shit happened, but then nothing happens for seasons and seasons.
It could have been 4 episodes long with less production, and I would have enjoyed it more. But it was still good.
It was still good. It was still good. It's just, they promised us this Lovecraftian, Yeah. And that's not really what happened.
Right.
So, the Shadow Monster didn't even, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's not what
it didn't do much.
It didn't do as much as you thought it would. It wasn't the focal point of the series,
right. Well, I'm going to call it a sophomore slump and hope Season 3 is better.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll learn from their mistakes. That show Slasher that also Netflix also produced. I reviewed the first season, and there was a lot wrong with it.
Yeah.
But the second season just came out, and a lot of people that I've talked to are saying that it's way better than the first one because they learned from their mistakes the first time around. So hopefully,
it's a continuing story or like American Horror Story.
It's a new story, but set in the same world. So yeah, hopefully the Duffer Brothers did not part of me wonders if they crawled up their own ass because it was too much too fast because it was such a huge hit.
That's a duffer. That's pulling a duffer.
It's pulling a duffer.
You crawl up your own ass.
It used to be called pulling a popple, but now, prolapsed popples.
Sex aliens, plastic sex aliens.
But yeah,
take it away from me.
Hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes, and also hopefully the pedophiles will stop calling the girl who played 11 the sexiest actress of 2017.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I want to find the people who wrote that article and smash their face with a fucking cinder block.
Yeah,
that is so
too.
fucking gross.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I cannot believe that they fucking are calling her like sexy and shit when she's a little fucking girl.
Yeah,
that's not cool at all.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like with Stranger Things success, those kind of things, we don't need that.
Yeah,
you know?
and there's this,
and the success of it, and PG-13 horror, and all these things are going. Horror's on the upswing. You know, we want Netflix to make more of this shit.
Right,
you know?
We don't need pedophiles ruin our shit for us. Victor Salva. But you know, there's this mindset, and it's especially a Western culture thing, where like if someone is good at something, the immediate response is, "I appreciate that. I want to rub my genitals all over it." You know, and you don't need to fucking rub your genitals on things to appreciate it. You know, I love sushi. I'm not going to fuck a California roll. But, you know, just fucking stop. You know, you don't need to molest kids. Stop molesting kids. Stop thinking about molesting kids. And if you're thinking about molesting kids, go see a fucking therapist.
All right.
That's my rant.
That's the theme of the episode. If you're listening to this show, go see a therapist.
Period.
If you're one of our fans who reaches out to us on the regular, you need help. And that's what we're here to provide.
Yeah.
The help. We're your guidance.
That's right.
Send us your PIN numbers.
We are your guiding light.
Send us your PIN numbers. Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets.
We are your
and we will say them on the air.
We are your port in the storm.
What's your top 5 darkest secrets?
Antoine,
tell us the top 5 worst things you've ever done. I know the hit and run was you.
Yeah. And now send us $7,000 and you can graduate to the next level of post-mortem Scientology. Biffintology.
L. Biff Hubbard. L. Biff Hubbard.
Yeah, maybe we can steal Tom Cruise away from them.
All right, we will be back with the good movie and the bad movie, and then the top 5 horror movie soldiers after this.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem Podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money, we get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many, and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
Okay, we're back. The good movie and the bad movie.
Yeah.
And I know you got a stinker. You said that.
Yeah.
You made that perfectly clear.
Over
the week.
Yeah.
You
I actually
said-
had to cut myself. This movie was so bad. I had to cut my inner thighs with a razor blade.
Wow. It's very 12 years old of you.
Yeah. I was listening to Morrissey while I did it until I realized that he's a fucking racist fuckbag.
And you also realized it was too cold, so you had to cancel.
Yeah, exactly. It was too cold to cut myself, so
You had to cancel that part.
yeah.
So, I guess I'll start us off this week. So, I have 2 movies that are similarly good.
Okay.
They're not bad movies. I'm kind of middle of the road this week. I don't really have a good and a bad, but I have things that are way different than each other.
Okay.
And the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that...
Well, my bad movie's so bad that it's worth 2 bad movies.
Okay. Well, this is a documentary. It's not a horror movie.
Okay.
But I think that anyone who's a fan of our show and that likes the things that we like would actually benefit from this. So, 2016 documentary directed by Kenneth Powell and Thomas Edward Seymour. It's called VHS Massacre, Cult Films and the Decline of Physical Media. So it's a documentary. It's not a horror movie, first off. explores the rise and fall of physical media and its effects on independent and cult films, ranging from the origin of home movies through the video store era with interviews with icons like Joe Bob Briggs from Monster Vision, Lloyd Kaufman from The Toxic Avenger, Debbie Rochon, Return to Nukem High, Deborah Reed, Troll 2, Mark Fraser, The Samurai Cop, and many others. So, not a horror movie, deserves to be talked about on this show, though. So, follow a group of filmmakers as they explore the death of physical media, including a trip to the last remaining Blockbuster Video, which closed shortly after their visit in 2014. Seems like it's been a lot longer than that, huh?
Oh, fuck Blockbuster anyway. They censored their movies.
For sure.
I was a Hollywood Video guy.
And it gets into that, too. So, team kind of comes off like fanboys, super nervous for their first interview with Joe Bob Briggs. Rarely do documentarians leave in parks that make them look a certain way, but this is one of the kind of documentaries where the filmmakers are on camera and talking a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, to where it's not like it's like a Michael Moore documentary to where he's a part of it too, right? Even though he's not just making it from an unbiased perspective. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't really like about documentaries is when the documentarian is inserting himself in the situation,
like Nick Broomfield, unless they're inserts himself in everything,
unless they're making it about them documentary their own life or something like that. But kind of putting themselves over inside the subject matter when you do that, you know? Joe Bob Briggs says the decline started with Blockbuster Video. He said when the big corporation took over and put a stranglehold on the rental business, it started to kill direct-to-video and low-budget filmmakers. We get a look into the legendary Troma warehouse, including a look of the lot of the original tapes of some Troma classics. Wow. Lloyd Kaufman interview is really good as always. He even compares the birth of VHS to the current net neutrality and copyright battles with torrenting and things like that. Okay. And there's things about, you know, he says some things that are controversial to other filmmakers.
Really?
You know?
He's a hyper-intelligent guy.
He really is, yeah.
He's genius level. You know, you don't think about that because of the weird-ass movies that he makes.
It's not really a spoiler if it's a documentary, but he basically says that the torrents and people finding out about his movies and watching them through that way, he actually he supports it. Yeah. And he wants them to because then they tell people about it, they buy the limited edition, this and that, they come to the convention and all that stuff like that because his movies never were making a lot of money.
Right, yeah, and there's two ways to look at that. Like Trent Reznor is the same way with his music, the dude from Nine Inch Nails. Like, he doesn't care if people torrent his stuff because it gets him to the concerts. Because there's the mindset that, like, the physical media is just the thing that sells you on a larger scale, and then, you know, people come to your concerts or they come to your conventions or they buy your merch. But then there are people who don't have merch.
It's just strange. That's a strange way. This whole this documentary is against that basically. Mm-hmm. So that's Lloyd Kaufman's opinion. So I'll get back to the documentary. But I'm of two minds. Like, I kind of agree with Lloyd about like his movies, but like I also agree with Stephen Biro about it's killing the industry. Right. You know, so like it's both. It's kind of hard to say, you know. Yeah. If the filmmaker is putting it out there and he wants it, then that's one thing. Right. Compared to just blatantly stealing it. Right. You know, so that is a difference that needs to be talked about. So we get a lot of nostalgic looks at old movie rental stores with horror displays, everything. It took me back to my childhood. Nice. Big old cardboard cutouts, and walls of VHS tapes, box arts, you know. If you remember, we did our top 5 VHS box arts, and that's something that I can't. You know, that feeling, you can't get that nowadays.
Yeah, it's even on with DVDs.
You rent a movie on iTunes or something like that, you don't get that. Even with DVD, too. That feeling of when you're a kid at the video store.
Yeah, they don't have the same heft as a VHS box.
Yeah, maybe, and I think part of it too, I don't know, when we were kids, maybe it's because we were kids also. Mm-hmm. You know, we would go and have that Hellraiser box and something like, wow, I shouldn't have this or whatever, you know. Compared to now, it's not the same, so. I don't know, but this documentary is pretty good. You know, with all that being said, you know, even me saying they interject themselves a little bit too much for my taste. There's also talk about a found footage festival. Have you ever heard about that? No. It's not the shitty POV horror movies that you hate so much. Uh-huh. It's a festival where they show weird VHS tapes that people have found from thrift stores, yard sales, things like that, and just weird movies.
That's awesome.
Grandpa's Magical Toys is one. There's some yoga instruction video with this really fucking weird guy and like an art video. Weird shit. You know, shit that never made it to the big time, but that it doesn't really exist today. Right. You don't really get like, you know, the video stores needed content. Yeah. So they would take anything. Yeah. if you run it, you pick it, you run it. You know what I mean?
Most of that shit was getting distributed by like fucking backdoor fucking porn producers out of New York. They were just distributing anything could get their hands on.
Yeah. As far as the technical aspects of this documentary, so there's some bad sound design in parts. Some of the interviews were only coming out of my rear firing speakers on my 5.1. Like, so if it was just on an old TV or something, maybe I should have watched this documentary on VHS.
Yeah. It was made for that.
But it's killed. That's the whole point of this.
Right. It's trying to bring it back.
But like,
see, that was like the subtle, like, subliminal message in there.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's very distracting when you're watching something and all of a sudden it's an interview, and one person's voice is coming out of your rear left speaker only. And
those are like the worst speakers on the 5.1 too.
Yeah, so it's like that was very distracting, but forgivable. So the video is hit or miss. Like, they use multiple types of cameras and the lighting is usually bad. There's times where it's people interviewing, sitting down at a table together. There's times where it's professionally, like Forensic Files, when it's like one person that gets a background, like you're getting your fucking middle school picture.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I didn't think I was going to like it based on about the first 5 minutes, but it really sucked me in over time. The saddest part about this documentary is in the 2 years they were in production, 2014 to 2016, most of the locations they go visit during this filming go out of business while this movie's still being made, and they go back and see the closed store or the Starbucks or the whatever it is that took over that spot, even within the course of the 2 years of the filming of the documentary, and that really fucking killed me,
Yeah.
So, IMDb gives it a 6.0. I would go and say I give it 7.0 plastic alien sex dolls.
All right.
Xenomorph. Xenoflashlight.
Xenomuff.
Xenomuff. I love that.
We got to trademark that right now. Get on the phone with my lawyer, Dad. All right. Time for my bad movie. It's a fucking horrible movie. It's a 2016 derivative garbage supernatural horror. How many directors does it take to make a shitty horror movie? 2! Abel and Burlee, spelled Burlee, Vang. I hate Burlee. Burlee Vang. Find him and curb stomp him.
I'm going to give you a burly vein
after
we finish recording this.
That's when you make someone watch a really bad movie, and when they're not paying attention, you take a shit on their shoulder.
Wow, that's a burly vein.
Yeah. Streaming now on Netflix, not that you should go there and watch it. It's called Bedeviled.
I also watched it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. You endured it as well?
I watched it from start to finish. Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it like a king of the crotch. So, 5 friends are terrorized by a supernatural entity after downloading a mysterious app.
Yeah, you got foul-mouthed Asian who likes midget porn.
Yeah.
Black hacker.
Yeah. Blacker.
Blacker. This is extremely inappropriate. A Dawson lookalike.
Yeah.
A hot blonde and a hot brunette.
Yeah. And the main chick was Lindsay Lohan pre-Coke.
Lindsay Lohan was pretty hot.
Yeah.
So, at some point.
So, what a fucking pile of shit this movie was. There's just so much wrong with it, I hardly know where to start. But if I was to sum it up in a single word, that word would be inconsistent. The plot revolves around a smartphone app called Bedeviled, which is basically a satanic Siri with a Brad Dourif impersonator voice.
I kind of like that because it reminded me of Brain Scan.
I
like when I started watching it, I was like, and I like the lighting in this movie a lot.
It started out good. Like, it was a good idea, and then they just didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
The premise is, it's kind of like that movie, right? I was talking about where it's like the Uber app, but it was a bad movie, good premise.
Yeah.
This is like that too. It's taking something topical and putting the horror spin on it, trying to make something new.
Yeah.
And I like the brain scan kind of aspect.
Yeah, when it started out, I was like, okay, maybe this is going to be a good movie.
And it scares them with the greatest fears that they have.
Yeah. So, this app allows demons to haunt whoever downloads it on their phone. The demons know what your victims are afraid of and use that knowledge to, quote-unquote, scare people to death.
It's kind of like The Ring, if you think about it.
A little bit.
It's like the VHS tape, but it's your phone.
A little bit, yeah. After, it was very derivative of many things. After a teenage
That's very
girl
true.
falls victim to the app, her former boyfriend and her pre-cocaine Lindsay Lohan lookalike best friend set off with their cookie-cutter rainbow coalition of promiscuous teenage friends to solve the mystery. What follows is a bunch of stupid-ass nonsense that took an eternity to resolve and would amount to an ending that I could not care less about by the time it happened.
Well, you gotta give the setup a little bit more than that. Okay, so, like, the app comes at them. It's not the same thing. It's always their greatest fear. Like, the black guy, it's a cop.
Yeah.
That has this bow tie on.
Yeah. Well, he's scared of white people, even though he's all hanging out with white people.
Yeah. The Dawson guy has a clown. Everyone is kind of the same guy, the main bad guy, but he customizes, kind of like Pennywise,
right,
to the person's fear. Like how it was Richie and the werewolf.
Yeah. So it's now we've got The Ring, we've got Brain Scan, we've got It. And honestly, it felt like they were, like, with this whole, like, knowing what you're scared of, they were kind of lazy with it. Like, it was just this, like, ham-handed, like, chuck different spook house monsters at the camera, and there was no psychology to it. It was literally just a character saying, I'm scared of XYZ, and then XYZ chases them around for a few minutes. You know, one of the guys is scared of clowns because clowns.
The fears were set up very, like...
Yeah. It's like, the fucking teddy bear, man.
And Mr. Bedeviled is the name of the creepy kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Pennywise meets the guy from Death Note, the demon. You know?
With Brad Dourif's voice.
Yeah. But not a direct ripoff of
meets Freddy Krueger.
Except for one time, he's holding a red balloon.
Yeah, I saw that.
And did that piss you off as much as it did to me?
Yeah, I was like, fuck you.
Another plot problem for me with this is that, okay, you really have to suspend your disbelief because only 5 people downloaded this app.
Right.
Like an app on, like, Google Play or something.
Yeah.
You know? Even the shittiest game has, like, more downloads.
Yeah, at least 100.
Platforms. Yeah.
You know, yeah. And also, like, so the whole point of the movie was, like, we got to go through this fucking convoluted process to get the app off of our phone. They never even once were like, chuck the phone in the ocean, get a new fucking phone. The app won't be there anymore. You know, I was just fucking, like, screaming at them. Just get rid of your phone. Put it in the fucking microwave.
Someone says that, though, at one point.
Well, the dude smashes his phone.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone else still has all their phones. And the demon is in the phone. It's taunting them through the phone, and yet they still continue to communicate with each other through the phone. Like, this is the only way we can talk to each other. Get a fucking landline. They still exist.
I really did like the lighting and cinematography. It almost, like, was reminiscent of Brian Yuzna, like, with Return of the Living Dead and stuff like that. Like, the underlighting, that at times, and that was really good. But it wasn't enough in the effects department from this movie because... Like, the sound design, they do the old trick with a lot of super loud sounds. Yeah. And they try to get the most mileage out of it that they can. Yeah. But also, there's some horrible CGI. It reminds me of The Evil Within.
It was fucking terrible. It was like...
Just like The Evil Within is terrible. It's the same thing as of... The practical's good, then they put the shitty CGI. Right. Because the practical is good. The guy looks good. The Bedeviled guy. Does look good. He's derivative, but it's not like he don't look bad
until you see his face.
Effects wise,
and they just fucking. It was like that Black Hole Sun video with the effects.
Yeah, that's exactly what he looked like.
You know, and they turn the eye sideways, and that was the whole thing. Is like they get chased around by the monster. The monster gets real close to the camera, goes boogie boogie boogie. You hear him scream, then you never see him again. Like that was it. It was so fucking unsatisfying in terms of visceral horror. Like, it teased everything and delivered nothing.
Speaking of unsatisfying, every fucking kill is off camera.
Every single kill is off camera.
And there's no gore at all.
No gore, no nudity, no nothing. You know?
Clothed sex.
Yeah.
100% clothed sex.
Yeah. It was probably written by Mormons. And
I don't know why...
it would make sense if they were going for a PG-13 rating or something like that, but this movie's rated R, so fucking go with it.
I don't know why it's rated R, though. I cannot place that.
Because they talk about midget porn, probably.
Yeah, maybe they say fuck more than, like, 4 times or whatever it is. The ending was actually okay to me. I kind of liked the ending.
I just didn't give a shit about it by the time it happened.
Yeah, me too, but...
Yeah, and a movie can only break its own internal rules so many times, like... You know, the whole phone thing, like the demons can only fuck with people who had the app, yet the demon possessed the cop, and the cop didn't have the app. You know, like, just all of these things where, like, they set up their rules and then they break their rules, and then the rules that they really home in on are the fucking ridiculous ones that just make you want to scream at it. Like, it was just so frustrating to watch because it was a good idea and concept, and then it was just increasingly so poorly executed. It was like watching a guy try to walk down the street and just constantly trip over his own feet. You know?
That's way over the top. Come on, it's not that bad.
I was pissed.
IMDb gives us a 4.4.
Fuck that.
I would say it's better than that.
Really?
I would give it more than a 4.4.
Wow.
It had a promise, but lacked on the icing on the cake with the titties and blood that it could have delivered. For that reason, I'm going to jump in with you, because I said I saw this too. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 4.400000001.
Wow. So my take on this was a fucking waste of 90 minutes of my life that I will never get back. I saw it out until the end.
This is your Cult of Chucky.
Yeah, hoping that something would redeem it in the conclusion, but it never happened. It was clearly made by someone who doesn't have any grasp on social commentary or the fucking times, but wanted to jump on the new hot topic as soon as possible, resulting in a movie that's going to date itself a year from now and will be totally irrelevant. They should have just called it, "These damn kids and their smartphones need to get off my lawn," the movie. I'm doubly resentful of the fact that watching it stood between me and watching The fucking Punisher this weekend. I could have binged 2 more fucking episodes of The Punisher and actually enjoyed it while I was suffering through this lazy, poorly thought out, utterly unremarkable turd fest of mismarks, squandered opportunities, and lame idiocy. I often say that I suffer through bad movies so our listeners don't have to. Do not make me suffer in vain. Whatever you do, don't watch this movie. Straight up fucking 0.
0.
I gave this movie a 0. Play the sound effect. Insert sound effect.
I gotcha. Way to fumble the sound effect. And then play,
Way to fumble the sound effect.
And then play another song. I'm all over the place right now.
Just like this movie. Yeah,
all right.
I did not like this movie.
Yeah, that's very true, obviously.
If you couldn't tell.
If you can't tell, Dom doesn't like Bedeviled.
It's very rare that I watch a movie where I'm just groaning and saying, fucking end already. This was that movie. And that's happened 2 weeks in a row now, actually, because my movie last week was one of those.
You know what? I'm gonna be on the upswing. Got my good movie this week, which is the same exact rating as my other movie.
Let's bring some positivity into this room.
Let's take it back down to okay.
Okay.
So, I think a lot of people are going to like this movie a lot more than I did. I think you might even. I don't know whether it was just my fucking attitude while I was watching it. You know, I've been dealing with a lot. I really appreciate all the listeners reaching out to me when my mom has been in the hospital. You know, they said she was on her deathbed. They told me she's never going to leave on Thursday. And right now,
getting ready to leave.
Monday, and she will be out of the hospital tomorrow on Tuesday.
She's going to outlive us all.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, I appreciate you guys reaching out, but maybe that's why I didn't like this movie as much as I thought, because I've been, you know, going through some shit, been busy, so. But, nevertheless, 2017 horror comedy directed by Joe Lynch, starring Stephen Young, a.k.a. Glenn from The Walking Dead, and Samara Weaving from The Babysitter.
Oh, wow.
It's called Mayhem. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
Not at all?
No.
A fire spreads through an office complex, causing white-collar workers to act out their worst impulses. When a corporate law office is quarantined after a dangerous virus makes the infected lose their inhibitions is discovered, a recently fired employee and a wrong client must battle their way to the executive level before time runs out.
Wow.
So it's very reminiscent of Zombieland in its intro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it pokes fun at itself like that, you know? Narration explains what is going on in the world, done in black and white with red gore, then the movie starts normally. It's a satire on society done in a violent and comical way. Good dialogue, really fleshed out characters. Stephen Young as Glenn was my favorite on Walking Dead, and it was great. It was because he's a great actor and delivers in this as well. Before the breakout, we learn Young's character has been set up by a coworker to take the fall for a 7-figure mistake and gets fired. After Young is fired from the building, he's quarantined for 8 hours with armed military guarding the exits. Virus has spread through the ventilation system and the effects begin to take hold. came out. It came out way too close to the date of the Belko experiment.
Yeah, that's what
I just reviewed that.
Yeah.
You know, like Office gone wrong, Office Space meets Battle Royale, and this is more of the
Flies.
same. Yeah, this is more of the same. But it's also. Have you ever seen that movie, The Raid?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's. I think it's Korean. It's an action movie, and there's The Raid and The Raid of Redemption. And it's fucking awesome. It's super awesome, right? And this guy has to fight his way against a drug dealer, these cops and stuff, like SWAT team, from the first level all the way to this massive high-rise.
Yeah. No, I have seen that.
You have seen that? Yeah. It's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
It's that mixed with Office Space, mixed with fucking Battle Royale.
Okay.
So
that movie was like the Korean Game of Death.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. So, but the plot is not too similar to Belko experiment, being that Belko made them kill each other, and this is a virus that people are trapped in an office building killing each other. Like, they had to, or their brains would explode from a chip in Belko experiment. So there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
This is more like 28 days later, but it only lasts for 8 hours, and they make that very clear.
Okay, and is it
8 hours,
impulses,
everyone will be
or is
normal.
it just homicidal impulses? Like, is there people dressing like clowns and
there's people doing weird shit too, fucking and getting naked, and like there's not a lot of nudity, but it's implied, and you see like side ass of old men and things like that, and people just going crazy.
That's my favorite part of an old man, the side ass. nothing like an old man's side ass to make your day. That's why I got the job I have.
Yeah, you see a lot of that. Huh? HIPAA laws prevent you from answering that question.
Yeah, it's true.
So he's locked up in a room with Samara Weaving, who's denied an extension on her loan from him.
Okay.
You know, he was the person that did that right before the shit hit the fan. Kind of like Drag Me to Hell.
Does she fucking curse him and fucking drool snot all over him?
No, she doesn't. They end up fucking.
Oh, cool.
They're
good for Glenn. Good for you,
yeah,
Glenn.
He's always fucking all these hot girls. What the hell, Glenn?
I want him to play...
and he was also the kid in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
I want him to play Charles.
He's short round. Charles Ng?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not burly enough.
He can put on some muscle.
Charles Ng was a mover.
That's right. Mover and a shaker. You don't appreciate what he brings to the friendship.
They're forced to work together to make it to the top of the building where the bigwigs that they seek revenge on are. It's totally Buffalo Experiment meets Zombieland. A little over the top with comedic elements at times, but entertaining. Sort of similar to The Babysitter we just reviewed. It was entertaining, but something about it just didn't do it for me. Definitely worth a one-time watch, but essentially it's just a combination of a bunch of other movies. Kind of similar to Bedeviled. Doesn't take itself too seriously, so if you don't take it too seriously either, you could have a little bit of fun with it.
Okay.
So, IMDb gives it a 6.5. I'd say it's a little bit better, more like a 7.0. Plastic alien sex aliens.
Yes.
Plastic alien sex aliens.
Plastic alien sex aliens.
Alien sex aliens.
That's right. It's like it went from one distant planet to another distant planet, then came here to get fucked.
It came here to come again.
That's right.
It came here, but it's gonna come.
You think you're invading, but no. Prepare to be invaded.
It's invading you.
All right. So, for my good movie, this is the first time I've ever had to do this, but I actually have to give this movie 2 different ratings. So, this is a 2015 found footage / ghost hunting story directed by C.A. Smith, streaming now on YouTube, part of the scariest movie on the internet competition. It's called Rorschach. It was recommended to us by listener Kent, or recommended to me by listener Kent, and it was interesting. So, 2 skeptic researchers investigate a mother's claim that an unknown presence may be trying to communicate with her 7-year-old daughter. This movie was a mixed bag for me. It had cons. It had a few cons, but some really big pros. And I'm going to go over both, starting with the pros, because the cons sort of offset that. So, first of all, this is a found footage movie and setup only. It doesn't make any claims that the people who made the movie disappeared and that the footage was either discovered or mysteriously appeared somewhere. It presents itself more as the findings of a paranormal investigation submitted to the internet for evaluation by the public. That setup was much easier to believe than everyone died and this is all that's left. It also doesn't completely give away the ending. And unlike movies like Paranormal Activity or bullshit shows like Ghost Adventures, fuck Zach Baggins, this movie presents skeptical ghost hunting in a much more accurate light. Not everything is shot in off-green infrared camera because you don't actually have to ghost hunt in the dark and actually shouldn't do that for a number of reasons. And the ghost hunters don't run around with a bunch of silly gadgets that don't actually do anything. And the tech that they do use is actually used in the right way. I've been ghost hunting since I was 15 years old. I'm a little bit, up to snuff on this subject.
Yeah, but let's describe what ghost hunting really is, Dom.
Jerking off in tool sheds that people tell me are haunted. Which this movie is actually all about. So it's just 90 minutes of two dudes jerking off in a tool shed going, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?"
We gotta get a little closer.
But the way they present the tech, they don't immediately pick up EVPs or instant photographic anomalies out of nowhere. And when they do pick things up, there's a long delay while they review their evidence off camera. Granted, there's still some sensationalistic scares towards the end that are not realistic, but the movie had to get to that point for the sake of being a movie. This is by far the most realistic ghost hunting movie that I've ever seen. And the movie was made on a micro budget, so all the effects were practical, and it really relied on the performances of the actors, which were all very good, and the sound design to carry the film. The director used long takes to build tension in the scenes really well. There was no musical score, nor should there have been, given the way the story was presented. So the technical tension was all about using shadow takes, long takes, discomfort, and there were some genuinely creepy moments in the movie. And it ends on an abstract note. I won't say what it is because I want some people to go and watch this. Except the ending is the whole reason that they called the movie Rorschach. It's not a neat ending where all the loose ends are tied up. It more aims to leave you with more questions, which is good because that's what ghost hunts usually do. But the bad points. I know I just sang the praises of this being a very realistic ghost hunting movie, but there's also a reason that movies that depict ghost hunting don't do it accurately. Unless ghost hunting is your thing, it's tedious and boring. You might sit in one place for hours, only for nothing to happen, and there's a lot of nothing happening in this movie. I get it, and I liked it because I know what ghost hunting is like, but if you're sitting down and looking to be constantly entertained, this is not a movie for that. This movie is slow. It takes time to set itself up, set up the story about the haunted family. It takes its time building to what is only one really big scare, and then an even bigger question mark at the end. I appreciate what the director was trying to do with it, but I also see where it would be very hard to watch for a casual viewer. So for the first time, I'm going to give this movie 2 ratings. I'm going to give it a rating for the people who are actually into ghost hunting beyond the general shit that they fart out on TV, and a rating for the casual fans who probably aren't into that. For the ghost hunting enthusiast, this movie is a solid 8 out of 10 plastic sex aliens.
Plastic sex aliens.
For casual viewers, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Wow, so it's bad.
It's bad if you're not into ghost hunting, but it's good if you're into ghost hunting. It's a really fucking niche audience.
Okay, I got a controversial opinion for you.
Yeah?
A lot of people love the movie Session 9.
Uh-huh.
For the same reason.
Yeah? I really like Session 9.
Very boring to me.
Yeah, okay.
Not that great.
So that's probably the same way. If you like Session 9, you'll like this movie.
I need to see some heads popping off.
Yeah.
I need to see a nipple or two in my day.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me sleep at night, Dom. I need to see a nipple or two.
Yeah.
And some heads popping off.
I pretty much live for that too. But I also like to,
or an old man's side ass.
I also like to sit in a tool shed and jerk off and pretend that I'm hearing noises. So if you want a more sensationalistic ghost hunting movie, watch Grave Encounters or Death of a Ghost Hunter. But if you're really into the subject matter, check this movie out. It's good for that audience.
All right, Rorschach, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like Doug Jones in a mask.
It was Jack Earl Haley playing Rorschach.
I don't give a fuck who it was. It should have been Doug Jones.
Going back to Bedeviled, that very opening scene where you saw Mr. Bedeviled, I was like, "Is that Doug Jones? Is that Doug Jones?" And then there was no opening credits, so I went to IMDb and there was no Doug Jones, and I was like, "Fuck this movie."
I lost 10 points.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
It was going to be a 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
but no Dukes. No Dukes. So, we'll be back, and, he might not be a soldier, per se, but I'll work him on the list somehow.
Yeah.
The Dukes.
The Dukes. Because
we're coming back with the top 5 horror movie soldiers of all time.
Horror movie soldier.
And I war for America.
Oi, oi, oi.
All right. I was thinking more like No Limit Soldier, like, ooh.
Oh!
No.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That would be the Buffalo Soldier. Biffalo Soldier.
Biffalo Soldier. We have our episode title. Write that shit down.
It's Biffalo Soldier. That's the most organic you're ever gonna get.
That is that was creation in the moment.
This is the last episode ever, and we'll be back after this. Thank you guys for all your support. Sharing our shit, liking our page,
Listening,
weekly,
not suing us, for anything,
semi-weekly,
getting semi-hard
for 30 seconds once.
Yeah.
No matter how long you listen, we still support you. Unless it is just one episode, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You better run for the fucking hills.
Run through the jungle.
That's not what this is about. No. What this is about is we have now started the official Facebook group of the Post-Mortem Show.
Go on Facebook, look up Post-Mortem Show Horror Movie Podcast for a chance to share your favorite horror memes with us and occasionally be shit-talked by me.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I've already done it once.
Yeah, guys, join the group. We have thousands of listeners to the show. Right now, the group only has about 300 members.
Yeah.
So please add yourself. Please share it. Share it with the world.
Yeah. Just don't say stupid
Let
ass
us
racist
into your
shit.
lives. Let us into your lives.
Yeah. Open
You want to
yourself
talk to
wide.
me?
Open
You want to talk
yourself
to
to
Dom?
us.
You want to talk to Biff?
We will
soon
put
to be one-eared Biff.
we will put Biff on the computer if that's what you want.
We're gonna have an official event in the group. It's gonna be Facebook Live Q&A with Biff, and I'm just gonna put Biff on Facebook Live, sitting there, and he'll answer all your questions.
Maybe we could do it as like a video chat thing.
Yeah, so that's official Facebook group, Post-Mortem Show Horror Movie Podcast. Please join. Please share it with your friends.
And we're back!
With the top 5 horror movie soldiers.
I'm glad you're feeling better and you can say that again.
I can't.
And we're back!
Yeah.
That's an extra one. It's not going to do it last week.
Right.
Yeah, horror movie soldiers.
Yeah. This was a list that required some research. Though I was reminded of some movies that I really like that I hadn't thought about for a while.
I love my list. My list is the list.
Nice.
I challenge you to a list off.
Wow. All right.
You're a duel, sir.
All right. My list starts with number 5, and it is The Monsters of Frankenstein's Army.
Yeah, Frankenstein's Army is
Soldiers
pretty cool.
made from parts of other soldiers.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
a really,
way out movie.
Yeah, really underrated movie. And it takes a little while to really get to the fucking meat and the monkey and peewees of the insanity. But when that movie when it pops off, it fucking pops off.
Yeah.
It goes places.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. My number 5 is General Bukkake from the Wadzilla and Chillerama.
Yeah.
Robert Wise. General
Right.
Bukkake.
Ray Wise. Always either play...
yeah. Why did I say Robert Wise?
Yeah. Always either play...
Robert Wise is dead in breakfast.
Is
They
it?
call him Robert Wise.
Oh, okay.
The guy from Kung Fu, The Legendary Journey.
David
Kill Bill.
Carradine?
Yeah. He's in Dead and Breakfast. You know
Oh,
that?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he's Robert Wise.
You are correct.
My brain
That was
works.
a deep pull.
My brain works in mysterious
That was
ways.
some of your head trauma shaking loose.
Yeah, like I may say the wrong thing, but
Yeah.
what I say, whether it's the wrong thing, it does have some kind of meaning.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
We even if not in this universe, in the next,
Right.
in parallel universes, what I say makes sense.
You're just channeling fucking string theory through your brain right now. Yeah, Ray Wise. Always
General
either
Bukkake.
playing a military guy, a principal, or a child molester.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. From one of my favorite episodes of Masters of Horror, from Homecoming, the zombie soldiers who come back from the dead to vote the president out of office.
I didn't really like that one that much. It's okay, but it's not one of the strongest Masters of Horror.
I thought it was super strong because it came out at the time that George Bush lost the popular vote and became president anyway. And it's timely again because that's how Republicans fucking become president for some reason. But like the whole thing about him trying to like play up the presidential candidate trying to play up fucking military exceptionalism and saying if the soldiers would come back, they would totally vote for me. And the soldiers come back and they don't vote for him. But then the Electoral College says, we're going to put you in the presidency anyway. And the soldiers go, fuck that! And they kill people.
And they have to eat brains.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good concept. It is. Just not gory enough for me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. didn't have the gore.
Yeah.
You know, even the Right to Life one with the fucking crab baby.
Crab baby.
Even had some shotgun blasts and stuff. But my number 4. Hooah! My number 4 is a man and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously a Marine.
He's a good history teacher, but he also is missing an arm. But he also comes back and says, "Fuck teaching, because I'm Radcheck, and I got to lead Radcheck's Roughnecks in Starship Troopers."
That's right.
He is the soldier of the future.
Fuck yeah.
Starship Troopers, underrated.
I just acquired that DVD this weekend from a yard sale.
The fucking gore in Starship Troopers is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some bad CGI, but if you can forgive Johnny Rico riding around on that bug's back,
It's like RoboCop.
with
it's
Paul Reiser's head.
Yeah, it's a movie of its time, and it's directed by the same guy who directed RoboCop.
Yeah, Paul Reiser.
But you know, it really is a movie of its time, like with all the weird shit that's happening and the special effects and all that.
I love the character of Ratchek because he has a great story arc, you know?
Yeah.
You kind of think he's a dick at first,
Yeah.
but by the end, if you've seen the Starship Troopers as many times as I have, which you haven't.
No, you have.
How many episodes are there of Postmortem? Is this 92?
Something like
I've
that.
seen it more than that. No, I don't know. Maybe, probably not. Put your hand on that wall!
That echoed in the drum set that's to my left. That sounded cool.
Put your hand on that wall! You know?
Yeah.
When he throws the knife?
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit.
That's not Radchek, but I'm just saying that's a... that could be the drill instructor.
Yeah.
Radchek is the guy with the horseshoe hair.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the teacher. He was...
Just you know what to do, Rico. You know what to do.
He goes down like a man.
He does go
A
down.
real man. A real man who
Are you
fights
saying
bugs.
a real man goes down
That's right. In a tool shed.
onto bugs?
Waiting for ghosts.
You know, my favorite character of that whole movie is not even Radchek, and this guy should have been, you know, I'd even pick him over Radchek on my list. But the general that's in the fucking cabinet, we're all gonna die. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? That guy's fucking awesome. But that's it for number 4, Radchek. I went on a tangent.
Yeah.
I overmodulated quite a bit. This episode's probably going to be quiet besides that.
We've got mastering software now, though. So hopefully,
Gotta click
hopefully
through
that'll
that
fix it.
Amazon banner.
That's right. All right, we're at number 3 now. My number 3, not really a horror movie, but definitely exploitation and definitely good for this list. The Bear Jew, as portrayed by Eli Roth in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking menace. That
Yeah.
guy. Oh, that's my favorite scene in that movie.
He
Where
likes baseball a lot.
Yeah, where
He likes baseball and killing Nazis, and he chooses to combine those two.
Yeah, you know, you take
He even
things
calls
that you love
out
and you put
the
them
fucking
together.
plays and stuff.
Yeah, you know, like I love making music and I love wrestling, so I brought music into my wrestling persona. You know, I'm sort of the Bear Jew of SoCal, except I'm not a Jew, but I am furry.
But you're a bear.
Yeah,
you know?
but I am a bear.
You're a teenage werebear.
Yeah, I do look good in leather with a biker hat like the
Antoine
the
is talking
people.
to you.
Yeah?
Yes, we've got your emails, Antoine.
Yeah.
I forwarded them on to Dom. He's not interested in you in that way. He just wants to be friends, okay?
But I will wear some leather and some jeans. And some,
You guys can be leather
some-
friends.
yeah.
Dom,
not really
Dom
leather-
and Antoine, leather friends.
Leather buddies for life.
A new Amazon pilot.
I'm not really a leather daddy so much as like a leather step uncle.
Dom is a leather step uncle. You can take nothing away from this.
Just take that.
If you can take nothing
a
away,
tool shed masturbating, ghost hunting, leather step uncle.
I would say if you can take nothing away from this episode, take away that, and also take away. Some of you guys don't listen to the end songs every time. Yeah, it's always a different song. You need to listen to this.
Yeah.
This end song today.
It's important. It'll change your life.
It's very important. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Important. Number 3. Is it me or you?
You.
My number 3 is Arlie Ermy from the Frighteners.
Yeah. The general.
The general of the cemetery.
Yeah, with his big ass guns.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Arlie Ermy is a character. In 7, when he's sitting at the fucking desk, and this is on the fly and stuff, The phone's ringing, he answers, he goes, "This isn't my desk," and just hangs up.
Yeah. Pretty much everything that he does is on the fly. Because he was brought into Full Metal Jacket as an advisor, and then they liked his routine so much that they wrote a character for him, and that's just what he's been doing for the rest of his career.
Yeah. He plays himself.
More power to him.
Yeah, but he's also like a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
plays
true.
himself.
Yeah.
Private Pile's blood's on your hands, Herbie. It's on your hands.
It is.
It's on your children's hands.
You drove Vincent D'Onofrio to shooting himself in the head in a bathroom stall.
I wonder if he saw Vincent D'Onofrio. He probably thought that was real.
Yeah.
He probably didn't know it was a blank.
Yeah.
And then a squib and everything like that.
Thought it actually.
Probably thought he really.
He's just been living that life the whole time.
He really got the shot.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a ghost. He's in the cemetery with machine guns right now.
He was trying to find him to apologize to him and just ended up staying there. All right, number 2. Jacob Singer, as played by Tim Robbins from Jacob's Ladder.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the military.
It's really good.
But, yeah, you know, a great story about how being in the Army and trusting the government fucks you up.
That's a scary movie.
It's a scary as fuck movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's very underrated.
Yeah, especially, you know, it kind of has a silly ending, which takes away from it. But if you really,
I like the ending.
If you really continue to think about it,
I like the ending a lot. Yeah.
It's one of those movies that continues to stick with you, and it was so influential that like a fucking whole horror genre was built out of it.
Yeah.
You know? We wouldn't have Silent Hill if it wasn't for Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, it's the first movie to have that like moving your head back and forth real fast with the rest of your body not moving.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And
you know?
Jumping between realities and questioning whether you're even alive or dead. Like all of that stuff is just, you know, sometimes bad shit happens to me like I'm in a tool shed jerking off. dressed in my leather codpiece and my hat with my fucking EMF reader because I'm waiting for ghosts. And the owner of the tool shed comes and he points a gun at me and I get out of there alive by the skin of my cock.
And you go,
and then I wonder, am I alive or did I get shot? Is my corpse still in that tool shed and am I just standing in McDonald's jerking off right now as a ghost?
No, that's actually why you were arrested.
Oh, shit.
My number 2. You know of a man named Captain Spencer?
Captain Spencer. Name's not ringing a bell.
A.K.A. the Hell Priest, A.K.A. Pinhead.
Ah, yeah.
Series.
Doug Jones. Not Doug
Doug
Bradley.
Jones.
Doug Bradley.
What if Hellraiser was Doug Jones instead of Doug Bradley?
You know, he'd make a good Cenobite. Maybe not a good Pinhead.
I just came a little bit.
Yeah.
A little beat of just one little beat of cum.
A little drop of pre-cum.
Trickled out.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
Speaking of skeet, okay, this is way deep, and I'm going on a tangent here.
All right.
You know, we made tamales, a lot of tamales.
Yeah.
Right?
I looked at them. They're beautiful. They're beautiful tamales.
Please still eat them after you hear this story.
Oh, shit.
Because one doesn't relate to the other.
Okay.
We made a lot of tamales, and one of them I roasted these jalapenos. You know, like...
Are they the one jalapenos you grew?
No, they're not. No, those ones... some of them were ready, but they're small, and like... I use them like in salsa and stuff. Anyways, I roasted and cut these tamales. But my wife always has to wear fucking nursing gloves when she cuts jalapenos.
Okay.
You know, and I call her pussy.
That's smart.
I call her pussy.
Yeah.
So, wash my hands and everything like that. Later on, you know, the next day, I get a little bit of downtime, you know. My hackles are up. I'm feeling a little bit randy.
A little spunky.
A little bit spunky.
Little spunky Brewster.
So I go to the old bathroom there and I pull up the old YouPorn, you know, and I start to masturbate by spitting in my hand and beating off.
Spunk zibunky.
And when I do, I get this burning sensation in my urethra.
Oh no.
And it gets worse and worse and worse to the point where I've done many death matches. Been cut up multiple times. It gets worse and worse to where I'm almost in tears and physical pain.
But you haven't stopped. In fact, you're going more vigorously now.
So now,
gritting your teeth, eyes watering.
No, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Anyways, I put the shower on, but the hot water makes it worse.
Oh fuck yeah!
I almost just did a milk displacement test. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Should I go fuck some sour cream right now?
Go stick your dick in a block of Philadelphia cream cheese. Start spreading the news.
Some of the tamales that we've given you that you're going to eat. I made those, but that was after that though.
Okay.
You can.
Don't be thinking about it.
You'll never know.
I'll be thinking about it.
You'll never know.
Now I'm going to ask for extra jalapeno tamales. I'm going to go eat them in the tool shed.
They come with extra children in them.
That's nice. It's like that old wives' tale of the old Mexican grandma who adopted the orphans, but she would grind them up and put them in her tamales. Except your orphans weren't born yet.
Yeah, they were just.
That's what I'm going to call jerking off from now on. Making orphans.
I swear it was all sanitary, and I washed my hands after. But maybe it was under my nails or whatever.
Yeah.
I need to stop sticking my finger inside of my pee hole.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to take your temperature. What number were we on? What were we talking about? Is it my number 2?
I think it's your number 2 now.
What is our list this week?
Been a lot of jerk off talk this
Listeners,
episode.
you send us your top 5 masturbation injuries.
Have you done your number 2 already? I don't even know where we are anymore.
Have you done your number 2?
Yeah, I have. That was
okay.
Bear Jew.
Yeah, I did too. It was pretty bad.
Okay, all right.
My fucking dick hole's like swollen shut.
Your dick is a Cenobite, played by Doug Jones. I'll tear your hole apart. All right, let's get this shit back on track.
Number 1.
My number 1 movie that I reviewed extremely highly. I believe it was the first 10 that I've ever done on this show. The character of Floria Gaishun, played by the actor Alexei Kravchenko from Come and See.
Oh yeah, Come and See.
Fucked up movie.
Dude, I watched the first 20 minutes of it, right after you recommended it to me, and then I completely forgot about it. When you have that kind of fucking brain fart, it's been buried. I really gotta watch that shit.
It starts out slow and builds into fucking madness. And so, for those of you who haven't listened to the episode, because it was fucking 60 episodes ago, Come and See is a Russian war film about this kid from a Russian village who joins the army to fight the Nazis, and then everything goes fucking wrong. And the way that the director made this movie was they brought in a hypnotist, and they convinced this 15-year-old actor that everything that was happening on set was real through hypnosis. So as he's running through these explosions and all of this crazy shit that's happening and people being slaughtered all around him and people being ushered into barns and the barn set on fire, he has this turgid fucking rictus look of fear on his face, and it's real. And you can just feel the fucking fear that this kid is experiencing. And he never did another movie again after this.
Yeah. Because he wasn't acting.
He wasn't acting. He thought it was all real. And it is a fucked up movie that, I mean, if you think war is cool, you're a douchebag. But if you think war is cool and you watch this movie and you still think war is cool afterwards, you're also a sociopath. So that's my recommendation. Come and See.
That's your number 1.
That's my number 1.
That might be your number 1, but my number 1 is the number 1. Surprised it's not on your list. Probably didn't even think of it. But the scariest soldier of all time. Colonel Oates.
Oh.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
I did not think of it, yeah.
Alaskan Military School. You know what? There's still time for you, Tom.
You're silky boy.
There's still time for you, JD. For all of you. For all 4 of you. And your silky boys who come from the butts of Chinese worms. Now drop and give me infinity.
Great character. Great character.
Infinity push-ups.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that many, dude.
The literal drill instructor from hell. Maybe he'll let us do it girly style.
Small role in the first film,
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I don't care what you guys say, it's a fucking horror film.
It is.
It involves the afterlife, it involves hell, there's torture, there's all this and that. It's a horror comedy.
Yeah.
You know, so if you don't like my fucking
And
number
superior
one...
to the original, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And if you don't think that Colonel Oates is the number one horror movie soldier of all time, fuck you!
Give me Infinity.
Yeah, you give us Infinity. Infinity fucking... I want you to make a bunch of... I want you to get some tamales and you fucking put them over the fire till they're roasted and they're hotter. You cut them up, you touch it, vigorously fist yourself, and that's your punishment.
Wow. All right.
Colonel Oates.
Sounds like a party.
Colonel Oates and Quaker Oats. Very different things.
Yeah. But both of them were the right thing to do. Diabetes.
All right, honorable mentions.
All right, so I've got... this is a very underrated movie that I haven't talked about much on this show, but the German soldiers played by Jason Fleming, Charlie Boorman, and Jack Davenport in the movie The Bunker. It's a
We talked about that before, right?
Yeah, World War II horror movie. These German soldiers have to go hide in this bunker to get away from being bombed by the English, and the bunker is haunted and proceeds to basically torture a bunch of Nazi fucks. So that's cool. The Russian soldiers in Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, I popped for that when they said that the only thing that could beat Nazi zombies is Nazi Russian soldiers.
Yeah, not Nazi zombies, zombie Russian soldiers.
Yeah. Zombie Russian soldiers.
Zombie commies.
My Ray Wise appearance, Major Tanner in Big Ass Spider, as played by Ray Wise. He's batshit insane in that movie. Not really horror, more sci-fi, but the first and the third movie were sci-fi horror, and then the second movie was a more like a sci-fi epic. But the character of Vaco, played by Carl Urban in Chronicles of Riddick and the sequel Riddick, which was more horror. That character is he's a military leader for this group called the Necromongers, and he is a cutthroat fucking sociopathic bastard. Great character. And my final honorable mention is from a movie that kind of stands on its own. There's nothing really like it. Characters of Erickson and Sergeant Messerve, played by Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn in the movie Casualties of War. There's some genuinely fucking scary scenes in that movie.
I've never seen that.
So it's about this.
It's not a horror movie.
It's just its own thing. It's about this Vietnam.
You could say Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, things like that. Even some on my list. Well, maybe,
but Casualties of War. There's a psychological horror element to it because it's about this crew of soldiers in Vietnam. A platoon of soldiers in Vietnam who kidnap a Vietnamese chick and plan to torture her to death. And Michael J. Fox is the one character that's like, I don't want to do that. So the whole fucking platoon turns on him and leaves him out in the middle of a battle. And he has to fucking deal with it. And so there's a psychological horror of whether or not he should join and torture this chick. That's like a kind of exploitation thing. There's the horror of having his platoon turn on him. And then there's the fucking battle scene, which is fucking harrowing. Where he's fucking trapped under fire and got all these explosions happening under. You hear Michael J. Fox say "fuck." It's like the only time I've ever heard him say that. It's a good movie.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
The whole time, I don't know. Maybe my brain is broken, right? If listeners that have been listening for a while, you probably know that my brain is broken.
Been hit a few times.
That's why I had to stop wrestling. I've had a lot of concussions, and I have some memory problems, some brain problems, some brain damage, if you will. Yeah. I thought the entire time you were describing that movie that it was Michael Keaton.
Better than Michael Jackson.
And then at the last minute you reaffirmed it as Michael J. Fox.
Yep. It's the Fox, not
my
the Keats.
My mind was blown. The Keats. All right. Well, honorable mentions for me. That's it for you, right? Second Lieutenant Boyd from Ravenous.
Yeah.
Ravenous is a good fucking movie. Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
Yeah.
One of the fucking shitty-ass Nazi variety of soldier. But
she's got some titties.
Dude, as a young man, I spilt many
You made many orphans?
much of my white blood. My Elmer's glue.
I call it ectoplasm when I'm tool shed ghost hunting.
The dad in Return of the Living Dead 3.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah, fuck that
He's
guy.
got the security clearance and everything. Rhodes from Day of the Dead is one of the quintessential. I don't want to go that obvious, but...
He's like a 0.
Eat him! Choke on him! The aliens. The Space Marines. The aliens. Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier. Even though it's not a horror movie per se, he's got a necklace of severed ears. He tortured people. He
goes
killed
fucking
people.
crazy, yeah.
He goes fucking crazy, and he's a super fucking soldier.
Yeah.
General Herzog from Dead Snow.
Yep.
Fucked up, shitty ass Nazi zombie. Predator.
He's a soldier.
You got Arnold.
Yeah.
You got Jesse Ventura.
I ain't got time to bleed. You got fucking Billy. That guy's cool.
Jacob from Jacob's Ladder, like you said. Don't Breathe. The blind guy.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
You haven't seen Don't
I
Breathe?
have not seen it yet.
I gotta show you some Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
I have it, so.
Cool.
Yeah. It's pretty good, and just, it's Ike. It's fucking Ike Clannon. He's a blind guy.
Right.
Ike. Ooh, Baylor. That was more like a Paul Bear. Peter Cushing in Shockwaves.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Pan's Labyrinth. There's a good little military guy in there.
Yeah.
Apt Pupil.
Yep.
Arthur Denker. Lieutenant Aldo Rain in Glorious Bastards. You have the Bear Jew. I say Brad Pitt. Lieutenant Aldo Rain.
He's good too.
Yeah.
He likes killing Nazis.
His accent is horrible.
Yeah.
But it's so good. House.
Yeah. Bull from Night Court. Fucking Bull. I don't remember his character's name. He's just Bull from Night Court.
And the Troma movie Redneck Zombies. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's very bad,
actually
right?
think I have it.
It's very bad, right?
Yeah.
Remember the black guy hallucinating for like 15 minutes?
Yeah. Obviously never done acid in his life.
Yeah, but there's a guy coming from a military base with a flatbed truck with barrels of toxic waste.
It just says toxic waste.
With no tops on them. They're like spilling out, and he's like hitting dips and shit. And he's a fucking military guy. Causes the whole redneck apocalypse when the toxic waste spills into the moonshine.
That's right.
And all the rednecks go crazy.
Yeah.
So he's my last honorable mention in our top 5 horror movie soldiers.
Yeah.
Ooh. No.
No, Master P.
We have a better.
We do.
We have a much better song.
Yeah. We will be presenting the debut song from Biff Marley and the Hubbards.
Biff Marley and Les Hubbards.
Les Hubbards. It's fancy. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Other than this song that you should all stay tuned to hear. So I guess as H.P. Lovecraft once said, as he stepped out of the tool shed and zipped up his pants and took off his leather biker hat
And his jalapeno.
washed the capsaicin from his hands. If it smells like fish,
Throw the fucker back.
Biffalo soldier.
Red like a rasta.
It was a Biffalo soldier with cultural appropriation, man.
Stolen from Bifrica and
Brought to Santa Maria. Fighting on arrival. Fighting for his
I
boomer.
mean that I'm gonna come on their foot. When I analyze the thing to me, it makes a note.
Hey man, bumbleclot.
The dreadlock before. He was the
Biffalo soldier.
and he was taken from Africa.
Brought to some other place.
Fighting at the rival.
Knocking up Bailey, man.
Biffalo soldier.
This is way longer than I thought it would be.
Dreadlock Rasta. derp, derp, derp. In the heart of derp, man.
Where's the oyo-yo?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Oyo-yo.
The Bumbleclot oyo-yo,
Where
man.
you coming from? Then you wouldn't have to ask me. Who the heck do you think I am?
Who do you think you are? Biffalo soldier. Who the fuck are you, Biffalo soldier, man? Who the fuck you think you are with your squinty eye and your oversized dog penis, man, and your tiny dog balls? Red Rocket, brup, brup, brup.
Interesting story. Biff will also die of toe cancer. He won't get his toe cut off because it's not good for his eye, man.
That's right. He needs to keep himself whole.
Hit the wall for America.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the part we know, man. Oh yeah. Take that, white reggae man, you Bradley no motherfucker. Oh wait, you can't take it because you're dead, man. Fuck you, Bradley Nolan, and your sublime man. You fucking hackneyed white boy wannabe reggae. Fuck you too, Sting and the police. You're not white boy reggae, man.
Yeah, Biff, man. Biff combination. White boy reggae, black boy reggae. Black, white dog.
Oreo reggae, man.
Oreo reggae dog. Dreadlock Rasta.
Yo, dreadlock pasta is really gross.
What?
Dreadlock pasta? Driven from the mainland!
I feel like we've culturally appropriated this song about the oppression of people in
Yeah,
Africa.
I feel dirty. Like I need to go.
For my retarded dog and...
Wow. I feel like a white girl at karaoke right now because that's the only part of the song I actually know.
All you gotta do is sing the lyrics you know.
Yeah.
And drink a pumpkin spice latte, and someday you too can host your own podcast.
I'm actually wearing Uggs and yoga pants right now as we speak.
And Biff is in here right now with us.
With his dreadlock wig.
Lighting up, man, the Biff.
A beef spliff. Like the beef spliff, man. But the dreadlock rasta. Cultural appropriation.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
I need to go home and punch myself in the face now.
Biffalo Soldier.
Biffalo Soldier. It's the official theme song. Post Mortem. #1 hit. Trending now on SoundCloud. Fucking face, space, and eye butts.
Thank you.
Brown iTunes. That's what we need to start.
Biff iTunes. That'd be weird. Anyways, if you're still listening,
God love you.
God bless you. Each and every one. It's almost Christmas. Thank you so much.
Wow, I'm tired now. That blew me up.
I know, me too.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Smells like that.